Yes, guys,
Yeah,
an
baby.
American takeover today on Up the Archer. My name is Reese Jones. I am joined here with fellow American Atticus Pete. Atticus, how are we doing today, pal?
Life's good, man. Good day to be an American. Good day last night. Good
Yeah.
day for us Chelsea fans. Good day for us American fans as well. Christian Pulisic, big night. We're feeling good.
Captain America to you?
Captain America, indeed.
Yeah, very good.
We have this thing where we like to name our kids after superheroes, Marvel guys, things like that. You think people name their kids Steve for Steve Rogers? Not so. Give it 5 more years, Christian Pulisic. That's our Captain America, baby.
All right. Atticus, what do we have coming up today?
Lots of stuff coming up on the show. Let's take a look at what we've got. Coming up on today's show, we look ahead to the important women's basketball quarterfinal tonight. We'll look back at the athletics action from the weekend. Women's football has their own playoff quarterfinal tonight as well, along with men's rugby and their Welsh clash last weekend. We'll also go behind the scenes for some tennis and hockey action. So first of all, Reese, we do have some men's basketball action from Sunday. We both commentated the game for Basketball Wales, the BWNL semifinals.
Yes, we did. It was a blast. Really close game. Let's just have a quick look at some of the action that took place on that game.
He'll put it down on the baseline. Amuka Stegi throws it back. Out of the top of the arc again. Long range 3. Wide open. Lets it drop in easily. Jack Price for 3. Zito with it. Long range 3. Nobody respected that. And he got it to go. Nice and open. Again, one-on-one. All right, from Jimmer range, baby. Doesn't fall. I like the 3. He had the space. Just didn't get it to go.
They like the 3 as well.
Here we go. Cardiff Met likes it too. They don't get that one to fall. Morrow, he'll take his own. There you go. Finally, one goes in. 42-35. 7-point lead for the Raptors. Aaron Ray with it. Ray guarded closely. 5 seconds to go. Ray, 2 people on him. Step back. 3 up in the air. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on, man. That's a good shot. Daw with it. Waits for his play to develop. Out to Kazito. Kazito, he'll take a 3. Alrighty. Every time. No, he's only done it twice, but Aaron Ray here beats Kazito's steal attempt. Ray's wide open. He'll take it. He'll lay it up and in over Gareth Williams. Tap back to Kazito, though. Offensive rebound. James Daw, he's open for 3. That one goes in. Cross-court pass. Kelly Brandreth, he likes that spot again. Again, he gets it to drop. Raptors with it now. Polinas, he's wide open. He'll take it anyway. Oh boy, that one rolls in. Daw on the wing here. One-on-one. Back out to Williams. Williams lost his man. Long range 3. There it is. 6-point lead again. Cardiff Met keeping it close. Now, just over about 30 seconds to go. Looking for the 2-and-1 opportunity.
Bang! 3-point game.
Too hard. This should be an easy one. 2-on-1. Morrow goes up. Morrow up strong. Takes it in. 75-74, 1-point lead for Cardiff Met, their first lead of the game. Oh man, he had a good move, couldn't get the shot to go. Doesn't matter, offensive rebound again. Up, off the glass, there it is. Kaiser Reyes puts it in. Kelly Brandreth, long range 3 as the shot clock expires. Oh boy, wow. Met need a score here. Morrill drives inside, gets the layup, gets it to fall. Williams, ow, heavy fall. Raptors should have this game in hand. Rifles it off the rim, doesn't get the offensive rebound. That's the game. Cheshire Raptors, big win on the road here, 91-88. That's how this game ends. They're going to the final. Disappointing result for the Archers, but Reese, we know what happened there. As we're from the land of the free, as we call it in the U.S., the Archers struggled from the land of the free throw.
Oh my goodness!
They missed so many that game. It was a tough loss.
Appalling. I think I'm convinced that one of the doors was open. Wind was coming into the stadium there. A couple of air balls there from the Archers. You know, not a great performance at the start, but they really did manage to come back at the end. I mean, honestly, a heartbreaking way to end. 3-point loss there at the end. So unfortunately, they're not going to be in the Cup final. Me and Atticus, however, will be in the Cup final. Is on April 2nd, BWNL inaugural season in Wrexham. We will be up there covering the action. Even though Archers aren't going to be there, we'll have a couple of Archers talking about it. Although there is loads of basketball action going on for the rest of this week. Atticus, what else is coming up here at the Archers Arena today?
Well, for those of you who feel deprived because you didn't have enough time with us as commentators, don't you worry. We've got plenty more to go. We've got 4 important games this week. First of all, 3, a triple header this weekend. Wheelchair basketball first against East London Phoenix, 1 o'clock. The BBC gets that game. Disappointing. We wanted that, but we'll give them some fun, I guess. After that, 2 games that Reese and I get to do. 3 o'clock. 3:15 is the exact tip-off time. WBBL against the Manchester Met Mystics. Huge game for the Archers. First home game in months. They're looking for their first win in 4 months as well. this is the weekend for it. After that, men's game, Division II National Basketball League at 5:30. This is a relegation battle for the Archers. They need to win this game in order to stay alive. They cannot lose. They have to win this game. We can't say it any other way. So we're looking for a huge win this weekend, Reese.
Absolutely. And I was there covering the action last week. And an absolutely massive win against the Baltic Stars. I think it was a 1-point game. A buzzer beater that came after the shot clock at the end, and it was just mental. I'm kind of hoping for a bit more of that same action. Maybe not as close. I want a bit more of a secure victory from the D2 men's this weekend, but victory is absolutely what needs to happen. What else? What's the most important game going on this week, in your opinion?
I mentioned the fourth game. The fourth game is what comes up tonight. Bucks National Championship. Women's National Championship game tonight. We have a playoff quarterfinal here for the Archers. Last night we talked to Shannon Hatch, Cardiff Met's captain and forward, about what's coming up tonight for the Archers. How are you and the team feeling ahead of this quarterfinal? Confident?
So excited, really, really excited actually. It feels like it's been a while since we played it. Like the last Essex game was now a few weeks ago, so we're really geared up and excited to get going really. And yeah, feel ready, and you're always ready to play a quarterfinal really, so can't hardly wait actually.
Speaking of Newcastle tomorrow, they just won in their match before this round. They scored 93 points. Are you guys concerned about that at all? Do you have a specific game plan ahead of tomorrow?
Yeah, well, we know that if we focus on us, that's what we really focus on, is getting our stuff going. Yeah, for sure, they can put up points, and we've watched them a bit actually. We've watched the game against UEL, and definitely if they get confident, they can definitely shoot, and everyone can do it on their team. So we're aware of them, and we've definitely watched and prepared. But I think that if we play our style of basketball, we play up-paced and up-tempo, we'll be fine. And but yeah, we're definitely geared up, and we'll know that we'll have to buckle down on defense to stop them, and then get out and running and play our style of basketball that's up-tempo and exciting, hopefully to watch. So.
How big is this game though to you?
No, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. You don't always play a quarterfinals. It's a huge deal, and it's win or go home. And so if we could get as many people out as possible to just support us, it always helps. And the fact that we're playing home in front of our crowd, hopefully, it's huge, really. And we really want to make it to the semi-finals, and then who knows what will happen. So yeah, it's huge, and we can hardly wait, really.
Well, you can catch Shannon Hatch. Absolutely unbelievable. At 6:30 tonight, tip-off in the Archers Arena. That's going to be on the Cardiff Met Archers Basketball YouTube channel. Atticus, what are you expecting to see from the Archers tonight?
So, huge game here, obviously. Archers really want to win here. They finished second in their group throughout the regular season. 7-3 record. Did pretty well, only lost a couple of games. They're expecting to win tonight. This is a game they need. Newcastle, though, Newcastle can score. Mm-hmm. They put up 93 points last week in their round of 16 win. The Archers can score as well, and that's been the focus this week in their practice. Mm-hmm. Up-tempo offense, high-energy defense. They're expecting to sprint for all 40 minutes. They know it. Both teams are going to need to score to win this game. The Archers just know they need to outscore Newcastle.
Well, that's going to be a long night for the people on the court. Me and you are going to be there covering it, bringing a bit of action to it. Very excited for that to happen. 6:30 again, tip-off on Cardiff Met Archers Basketball YouTube channel. Now, let's have a quick look. Let's jump into some of the action that happened over the weekend at the Bucks Indoor National Championships for the Athletics.
The men's 60-metre hurdles.
Cardiff Met had a successful weekend in Sheffield at the Bucks Championships. It started off with Callum George winning silver in the 60-metre hurdles.
Rain and Andrew. So almost a sea of Lafra in the middle.
Joel Mattox then went on to win bronze in the men's ambulance 60 metres, with Hannah Breyer winning gold and her third Bucks title in the women's 60 metres.
Hannah Breyer just got a great start. Walker also going really well, but Breyer just leaning through, and she takes the gold. Have to wait at the end of the feeder.
Emily Thomas and Becca Chapman were also competing in the long jump, with Emily getting bronze and Becca achieving silver. Mattox was also competing again during the men's ambulance long jump, winning Met a gold medal.
High jumps, very close on the board there.
Hannah Tapley also added a gold medal to her collection with a leaper of 1m78. The women's 4x200 metre relay then went on to pick up a bronze medal with a series of strong running.
Oh my word, Harrison gets gold for Lafra. So
The men went one better though, achieving a silver medal and just catching Birmingham on the finish line.
About to be the last men come through for silver.
All right, I am joined here by athletic star Femi Akimbola. Unbelievable name. Femi, how did you perform personally on the weekend?
Well, thanks for having me. I think individually I did okay. I mean, as far as it was last week, I wasn't actually going. I was injured. It was pretty much on the table. But as a relay team, I think we pretty much knocked out the park, both of them. I'm happy with how I did in the relay team. Individually, less so.
Any medals won?
Yes, we got silver in our men's relay team. We're really happy about that. We had a bit of a vendetta against Birmingham. We weren't happy they beat us last time. So to beat them this time, way better.
Massive.
And you guys got silver, right? You're going for the gold next time, though. Yeah?
Oh, of course. Of course. Next time, we're taking it to them.
Good. Now, speaking of that, that's something pretty unique. Athletics is usually an individual-focused sport. The relay is probably the only time you work with a team consistently. Does that different dynamic affect your training? How does that feel for you to be on a team event while doing an individual athletics competition?
Well, it's nice to have, like, when you're warming up. Normally, you're on your ones. Like, you're the only one in this event.
Sure.
You just got to focus on yourself and hope for the best. As well as when you're warming up with a team, you get that sort of team morale going. You're all pumped, ready to go. And then when you're out there, the whole team. I mean, everyone in the stands just goes electric. Like, it is like your life depends on it, basically. So it is a lot nicer having that relay dynamic compared to the individual events.
Yeah. And so, I mean, how many races did you actually take part in yourself?
Well, so I had one on the Saturday evening, and that was the relay qualifiers. And then Sunday I had 3 races to do. I had 3 200-meter races to do. And I think I had like an hour or 2 difference between them. So yeah, my legs are still in bits.
How? So you're there for like 2-3 days or something, and even though it's 4 races, it sounds like a lot. Those races are only like a minute long or a certain amount of seconds long. What are you doing the rest of the time surrounding that when you're not like actually preparing for your actual race?
Well, so the event started Friday, and we, luckily, because a lot of us were only competing Saturday and Sunday, we went down later. So yeah, we went whilst it was like the most god-awful weather to travel in.
Yes.
So most of Friday was just praying we made it there.
Yeah.
And then Saturday and Sunday, there's always something going on. You can always watch. There's always someone competing from your team. So it is literally, that's where the team mentality comes in. You got to go watch, you go support, and you cheer everyone on.
Yeah. Good.
That's good to hear. Now, speaking of the team and the competitions you guys do, I know this was an indoor competition, but most of your team, you included, will you guys perform in the outdoor competition as well?
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully we'll all be there. It's a lot of people will prefer the outdoor competition. Most people that sprint know that indoor bends can ruin someone. It is honestly the worst feeling. Running on a banked track is not fun. But yeah, a lot of us will be there. We're hoping Joe comes with us this time, if you want to come with us.
We'll see. Let's hope so. Now, for you personally, I know you do indoor and outdoor. Do you have a preference? What's the difference for you when you do indoor versus outdoor competitions?
So, as much as it pains me to say, my coach would like me to say I'm a 400-meter runner. Indoor 400 is something I really do not like doing. It's 2 laps. It's a mental game. You run around once, you think, oh, I'm done. And then you're not done. You've got to do another one.
Sure.
So I prefer 400s outdoors, 200s indoors.
Fair enough.
What's it like having such high performance athletes like around you? You've got some of the fastest men in Wales that train here at NIAC, and you've got Joe Bryer who just went to the Olympics. What's it like having people like that around you? Does that motivate you in any way?
Well, like in theory, so obviously I'm in my second year. When I first came to uni, it was really daunting. I was like, surely I'm not up to this caliber to be training here. But no, as time goes on, it becomes more of just like an inspiration. Like you want to push harder, you want to go further, and to have people like that around you, it just makes the whole environment way better, way better.
Absolutely, that sounds great. Well, I much appreciate you joining us today. Great luck, or good luck going forward to the next event in the outdoors, and great job this weekend. Honestly, it's awesome to see all the content, all the medals that Met were winning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, now we're going to have a good deep dive look into our hockey club, which is just around the corner. We went behind the scenes in the changing rooms. Let's have a look at behind the scenes with the hockey.
well last week. It's that everyone worked so hard and everyone was going back. We were like a unit last week, and I think if we do that again.
Like the first half of the field, and just try. I think maybe for this game, just trying to maintain that.
Here we are at Kincoid campus, and this is the Cardiff Met ladies first team versus Exeter ladies first team. Lovely pass, moves to Herberta, Hermione straight on it, she knows the pressure's there. And what a fantastic goal, straight through the keeper from Maddie Channel. Brilliant double pass. Still winning the ball, chipping it up. Carrying the ball, bit of 3D skill.
Like with the lead, once you've made the lead and haven't got it, you switch. Yeah. Peel out and then move it.
Right, we've got to get on our forehand in here as much as possible. Okay, so these ones are on. Okay, occasional switch here as well.
Who's there? Nice, going back. The effort, the legs, the power on the shoulders. Oh, nice tackle from the Met player there.
We put up another fight. We always knew that league was going to be hard. So yeah, I'm so proud of the girls. So they came out here and put up the fight.
We all came out and did our best today, and although it wasn't a great result, I think we can all be happy that we've had a good season together.
Are you feeling emotional?
Yeah, I think we're crying.
Absolutely great to have some of our correspondents there in the changing rooms, in the team huddles, getting the atmosphere all day through a Bucks Wednesday. If any other clubs want us to get involved and record them throughout an entire Bucks Wednesday, just get in touch, let us know. Atticus, what's been going on with the weather lately?
Well, see, the weird thing is you watch that video and you know the hockey field's okay. That was just filmed last week. Not 20 feet away, something worse happened on the football pitch. Let's take a look and see what happened. Rob, our news correspondent, is down live at the pitch this afternoon. Rob, what's going on?
Yeah, cheers boys. So I'm down here then at the Football 3G, and as you can see, Storm Eunice has not only ruined the stadium and the pitch, but it might have also ruined our home team's chances of getting any kind of result this week. The women, they're meant to be at home, but they're off to Llanrumney to play their league game, and with damage on the pitch like this, it doesn't look like the men's team on Saturday are going to be able to play here either. They have TNS in the league, and they're going to be playing it at Dragons Park. And a game like that, they need every home advantage they can get, and they won't be having it here. It's freezing cold, it's windy, the pitch is in a state. I'll see you in the studio in 5 minutes for a little bit of rugby chat. Cheers, guys.
That storm over the weekend was absolutely crazy. Do you get anything like that in Utah, where you're from?
No, just a lot of snow, lots of ice. That's about it. So, I mean, that level of wind, I haven't felt that before in my life.
No, and I swear it blew open some of the doors in the basketball. It was that. If it's strong enough to tear up the football pitch, then it is strong enough to tear open the windows in the Arches Arena. I'm convinced. Fair enough. Give us an update on what's going on with the football now. Obviously, the matches have been rescheduled. The women's is now playing in Llanrumney tonight. The men's are playing at Dragon Park. What's the deal? What's going on with these games?
So obviously, you need to have these games someplace else tonight. Hopefully, that field is fixed in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's not a big problem. Tonight's games, though, or tonight's game for the women, and then the weekend's game for the men. Hopefully, this doesn't affect the home field advantage that we have here at Cardiff Met. Tonight's game is a quarterfinal, so home field advantage would be a big help. The women, though, we'll have Annabelle Sweeney on to talk about this later. They are going for the gold, though. They're going for the final here. The quarterfinal is not where they aim to stop. Hopefully this doesn't affect them tonight. And for the men as well, a tough game against TNS, the new Saints here at home. Now it's going to be in Newport. Hopefully that's not a problem. A little concerning. This is the best team in the league you're up against, but should do well. I still hope for that.
And I mean, Dragon Park, if you can't play at Cardiff Met, Dragon Park with a Welsh national team terrain, not a bad place to get to play a game. That's and nice feels there. Can you explain to me how the second half of the Welsh Prem season for the men's team is going to play out? Because Cardiff Met now obviously stuck in the bottom half, can't reach the top half, but what can they do now? What are they aiming for the rest of the season in the second half?
So I know they lost the Nathaniel MG Cup final, but that shouldn't cause any form of pessimism on the rest of the season. There should be only optimism left. The Archers, if they get a result this weekend, they could jump up to 7th, top of that bottom half for the second half of the season. If it works, great. If it doesn't work out for them, that's okay. They're still near the top of that second half. All they have to do is get to the top of that, and they can get into Europa Conference League qualifying at the end of the season. They can do it. All of these teams they played against, they've beaten most of them. They've only lost a couple of times to Carnarvon Town, but the other 4 they've beaten pretty handily every time. They should be okay. I think the team has a good chance to get out strong out of the second phase, qualify for Europe once again.
Yeah, I mean, I was here last time that happened, 3-4 years ago now. With Christian Edwards, we were finishing the bottom half, and then we finished top of that bottom half, and then we went all the way through the playoffs and beat Bala in the playoff, and then we got to play away in Liechtenstein, I think it was. A team in Liechtenstein, we lost on away goals, heartbreaking. But if ever there was a time for Cardiff Met to come through this sort of fairy tale story again with Christian Edwards last season, this is when you want it to happen, isn't it?
Let's hope it goes well. Yeah, it should be good for this weekend. Now, speaking of all the going on the road and proceedings like that, there are lots of bags around Cardiff Met for road travels, things like that. What's in all these bags? There are bags everywhere on this campus. What's inside of them? Let's take a look and see what's inside of some tennis bags that we have here on the campus.
I'm Chloe Efford, and these are my Arched Essentials. So these are one of 4 pairs of Crocs that I own. I have them in different colours. I take these with me absolutely everywhere. The comfiest pair of shoes I own, so when I'm not actually playing tennis, I'm just watching my teammates play, I'll be in my Crocs watching. Travelling to and from games, always in my Crocs. Just my absolute go-to on a match day. So this is my Air Up water bottle. My mum and dad got it for me for Christmas. It's meant to have a pod on the top, so when you drink water, it should smell or taste like a fruit. So I've got orange and passion fruit flavour at the moment, and to be quite honest, it just doesn't work. The only reason I use it is because it holds a fair bit of water and it's just easy to carry around, but other than that, I wouldn't recommend getting it. So my third essential is a tube of tennis balls. So I got these Babolat balls from playing in the club champs at university last year. Have to have them in my tennis bag for matches or just training. If I turn up early to a match day, if we have time to warm up and there's no balls around, we've got some balls to play with. Also, I'm just going for a hit in my local pub with my dad or anything, just handy to have in my bag. And as well, just keeps me entertained. If I'm not playing tennis, I'm somewhere, just get a ball out, throw it, just launch it about, just like to do really. So my fourth essential is my Sonos speaker. So got this speaker, again for Christmas from my dad. Perfect thing to have on an away day, if we're travelling in a minibus, if we're in the change rooms a lot, if we're just sort of hanging around, not doing a lot. Just a great little thing to have in my bag to play some music, lighten the mood up a little bit, just something to sort of break silence, I suppose. So in my tennis bag, I'll always have sort of 3 or 4 grips to hand. So tennis grip basically just wrapped around the hands with the grip, and just makes it a bit more comfortable to hold when you're playing a game of tennis. They wear out quite quickly, so if I've done a lot of training with the grip on, or if I'm just in a super long, hard match, sometimes a new grip's what you need to sort of just feel a bit nicer in your hand. Got lots of different colours. Pink, blue, green, black. I don't mind. Some people like one colour. I don't mind. Some I like it. So these are my 5 Archer essentials.
Well, we are now joined by our rugby correspondent, Rob Burke, who has magically just appeared, sprinted his way up here. Looks quite well, given he just sprinted up here. 5 minutes it only took. Rob, how's it going?
Yeah, good, man. It's very windy still out there. I think the storms might have gone, but it's definitely some rough weather still outside.
Definitely. So, can you talk to me about the rugby that happened last week? A massive game covered on the Bucks Super Rugby live stream. Just break it down for me.
Yeah, it was 23-17 to Swansea in the end, and I'll hide the smirk because essentially it was an upset. I don't think many of us saw it coming, especially the boys in the commentary booth. I think there was a few shocked faces. Like we've always said, we went to Swansea away, and you know, Swansea love an upset, and they love turning it on in the derby. And it was weird because they kind of started slowly this time. They didn't. It was a surprise not only after the game but during the game as well, because we played well. You know, we went in a half time in the lead, and it was only 70. We were still leading in the 75th minute, and Swansea, just like that, as they always do, switch it on when it matters and come away with the win essentially.
Now, how much are we going to be able to blame the weather for that game last night? Because that, as much as you don't want to complain about the weather, that was just crazy.
Yeah, I think the weather was horrendous, but if there's anything to blame, it's Swansea number 10, Gwyn Parks, yet again, just completely controlling the game. He did it at St Helens, his side were unlucky, and this time his magic came to tell when he dropped goal from his own half. So maybe the weather played a little bit of a part in that, but you know, it was a good kick and ultimately made the difference, those drop goals. Slightly contentious whether they went over or not. The referee deemed that it was between the sticks, and he gives his team the win. Yeah.
I saw some video editing on Twitter trying to put the ball above or below the post. Most people seem to agree it was below, but that's okay. It was fun. Well, Rob, what happened in the women's game last week? Did the weather affect them as well?
Yeah, so the women's game was against Northumbria, and it was actually called off. They didn't get to play. We were looking forward to covering it. It was kind of a double header set up to be this big thing, and maybe not weather. Maybe not the weather wasn't to blame, actually, is what I'm trying to say. Northumbria kind of pulled out the league. I think they've had a tough time trying to compete in the league. Like, the women's division is so competitive kind of until you get down to where Northumbria are at. And I know the guests have travelled their fair share this season. Northumbria have certainly done their fair share of travelling. I think it just got a bit like, you know, if we're going to go all that way just to get bad, what's the point? And it's raining, I'd rather wrap up and stay inside kind of thing. You know
I can understand that.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, given that the men's game was the only bit of action that we got last Wednesday, let's just have a quick look at some of the action that went down on that windy game last Wednesday.
Roedd hi'n ddarbu Gymreig ar gampws Cincoed yng nghanol y storm yr wythnos diwethaf rhwng Prifysgol Met Caerdydd a Phrifysgol Abertawe. Ac yr ymwelwyr aeth ar y blaen yn gynnar, gyda chais gan y blaen allsgellwr, Kai Davies. Ond doedd hi ddim yn rhy hir tan i'r tîm cartref ddarganfod eu patrymau. Ar ôl sawl cymal effeithiol gan y blaenwyr, dangosodd Brad Denty ei sgiliau acrobataidd i ddal pas Richardson a sgorio yn y gornel yn effeithiol. Ac yna Met llwyddodd i ymestyn ei mantais i 10 pwynt cyn yr egwyl, gyda chic glyfar eto gan Richardson i freichiau y cawr mawr Joel Broadhurst mewn safle go anghyfarwydd i'r clo ar yr asgell. Ond dyma oedd uchafbwynt y gêm. Gwyn Parks seren y gêm gyda gôl adlam o'i hanner ei hun yn dod ar elyrch yn ôl o fewn pwynt gyda digon o amser ar ôl ar y cloc. Ac yna, gyda 3 munud i fynd, Abertawe yn llwyddo i fanteisio ar chwarae llac gan Met. A Taylor, yr eilydd, yn dangos ei sgiliau a'i gyflymder i reoli'r bêl ac i tirio hi am gais allweddol yn y gêm hwn ac i'r gyngrair yn ei gyfanrwydd. Ac yr holl bwysau hwyr gan Met o fewn 5 metr i'r llinell gais, noson i'w chofio i Abertawe yr oedd hi, yn curo Met Caerdydd am y tro cyntaf erioed yng nghyngrair uchaf Bucks. Y sgôr terfynol, Met Caerdydd 17, Prifysgol Abertawe 23.
Tough result for the Archers there, but that commentary was in Welsh. As an American, obviously, I have no idea what it said, but it was really nice to get that here on the camera today. We're really excited about having that be part of our show. Now, Rob, looking forward to the future today. What do the men's team have coming up for them today, this evening?
Yeah, so they're off to Bath later on this evening. Another interesting one, I have to say. Yeah, like we talked about, you know, a game of two halves for the Swansea game. last time Barto Hero was definitely the case. We dominated the first half and they just switched it on in the second half. Hopefully this time it'll be a little bit more plain sailing given the positions in the league, but we'll have to see. And then me and Griff are going to go away and we don't really know what to expect, but we'll hope for a win for the Cardiff boys.
Fair enough. Any big changes the team's going to make with either their players or tactics for today?
Yeah, I think it's a classic case of the result last week wasn't what we wanted. It's time for a change, and it's a big change. There's one player out of the whole forwards. From the last time we won, they've changed 7 out of the 8 forwards in the team, that's a first for this season. Ewan Shenton, the only man keeping his position, and he's club captain. He's not going to get dropped. So the fact that we went away to Hartpury and it was all fun and games. We've been on a massive winning streak, and now the complete forward line has been changed. Other than the captain, it shows where the mentality is at. We'll change it next week. We'll wait for Northumbria because like I said, all respect to Northumbria, it's a slightly easier game. That tends to be where the coaches, bring in the likes of Stephen Davis just to see what he can do. But no, it's no mercy and big changes. Yeah.
Wow. We're looking forward to that game on the road tonight. You'll be commentating that game live, correct?
Yeah. We're me and Griff and Queeve and I believe Caitlin as well is on the road. So a big little team. I don't know if you can say that. A big squad.
Big team for the rivalry.
Yeah, big team for on the road. And we'll bring that game live on the Cardiff RFC Instagram.
Perfect. Now, what about the women's team today? What do they have to look forward to?
Yeah, so they're on the road again. They're off to Hartpury. We tried to work out the logistics of whether we could travel between the two. But yeah, their team's been strong all season. It's interesting because they've beaten the likes of Loughborough, who are obviously top of the league, and they have a more consistent team game by game. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. And I know Caitlin will probably tell you that she never really knows what to expect with those girls. And obviously, when we played Hartpury at home, it was their debut on Rugby 1. Again, big occasion. So maybe that played on their minds a little bit. The fact that the boys are away, we get to show what we can do, and maybe the occasion got to them. But I have no doubt they'll go away now. They've got their winning formula. They've come off the back of a few good results, and I'm sure they'll do the business over in Hartpury.
Good. We're expecting some big results from the Archers today. Big turnaround, hopefully, for this week. Now, I do know. We mentioned before the show something about Six Nations. I thought this was Six Flags, like the amusement park, but I'm told it's not. Six Nations Rugby. That's okay. Now, I hear there's a big game this week between England and Wales in the Six Nations Rugby, Rob.
Yeah, there is indeed. England, Wales. It's interesting when you're in a Welsh uni where there's a lot of obviously English students and obviously yourself travelling over from America. But like when I was in Swansea as well, it was always a divide. I think I lived with 4 Welshmen and 4 Englishmen and sit on opposite sides of the living room, eat separately for the next week or so. But no one's really had too good of a start other than France in the Six Nations, so it's kind of all to play for, I suppose you could say. If I had to choose a team I don't know, I'd back Wales. I was going to back Wales, but Wales are they're playing okay. It's hard to give you an idea of how difficult it's going to be to watch the game. We'll see who turns up on the day. We had a good result against. We had a good result last week. Yep. Hopefully on Saturday now we can do the business again. It's a bit like the Archers. You just don't know what to expect at the moment, really.
So what is it like seeing some former Archers like Don Brent and Wainwright in the squad? And I mean massive game. I mean we've got a thing here behind us, a little picture of Wales versus England. Like one of the biggest games in rugby. How big is it to see some former Archers like Wainwright and them in the squad?
No, it is. It's massive, and the thing is for us, it's just nice to say oh yeah, Alex Donbran went to our uni class, but the likes of Ewan Shenton obviously playing in a similar position to Donbran, they talk all the time about, look, we took a different route to get here, we didn't go through the academies, or perhaps some of them did and fell through the cracks, and they're trying to find their way. But Donbrand's a perfect example of it's not over till it's over, and they've got plenty of time. And it's actually coming true that perhaps Cardiff Met is actually a better route because you get a chance to play in a professional setup. Obviously the England boss is clearly looking at the talent we have here. There's no hiding from it anymore. The boys are here, and last week out the way, they're doing their business, and it's amazing. And I know it inspires so many of the boys. Northmore as well, playing in the England setup. You can make it through the Cardiff Met way. Definitely.
Good to hear. Now, is there anything else we missed here, Rob? Any other rugby on your mind that we should be aware of coming up?
Yeah, look, obviously we've got the big games coming up today, as we discussed, but there's plenty more action. There's a 5-a-side, a 7-a-side as well. It's a 5-a-side tournament for us kind of guys to get involved in, for charity, of course. So I don't know if you American boys fancy your chances.
You see my arms? No way, I'd get killed.
It's basically NFL. You can do it, but I fancy you going long. So you can get involved if you fancy a bit of rugby. I believe it's touch, but no promises. So if you do rock up and take a spear, don't blame me. But I'd still like to see you boys getting down the wing. I fancy you. I've seen you run. You're quite quick.
I can run, but I got a dodgy shoulder.
We know the cameraman's quite nippy as well. So you've got 3 of you boys.
I think my arms, legs, every bone would break on the middle contact. I don't think I can do that. So thanks for giving us the rugby update, Rob. Now let's get a behind the scenes look at what goes through the mind of a coach on a game day. Let's look at the coach cam for the netball.
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm second team coach and netball performance director, and this is my coach cam. I haven't seen them play. I don't know what they play like. I know what you lot play like. I know you're more than capable of winning this game, and that's all we're going to concentrate on. We're going to control the controllables. If we're throwing ball away, that's our fault. If we're making mistakes, that's our fault. Go out 100%, enjoy it, give the ball first time. Okay? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Lovely pop out, and well done. No patience.
Everyone always does it.
Georgia, lovely vision.
Yes, Lane.
You are miles the better team on court. It's just we're not showing it, we're not converting it to goals, okay? Right, come on, watch the arms. We can't just force. Come on, Em, you got it. Breathe out. Amy, you don't need to give as much height. You need a little bit to get over the arms, but try and send it a little bit flatter. Because it does this, it'll travel further, okay? Lovely girls, good play. Patience, vision, well done. Pick it up! Don't give it away, they worked hard for that. Just stay completely free, even use Lottie as a screen, get around the other side, yeah. Oh, Ames. Don't force! Look up then, eyes up! Eyes up! Look up! Eyes up now. Eyes up! Look up! Yes, Beatrice! Keep it there now. Restrict. Restrict. Good. Yes, Joe. Good girl. We got loads of fresh legs on now, so no excuse for being lazy, no excuse for going for interceptions. If one person isn't going on man, I'm going to switch you out, okay? You need to be man-on-man defence all the time. Yes! Nice. Right! If you started a little bit closer, start closer so you can get there, okay? You're just fingertips. Okay, me first and then photographer. Ready? Right, nice one first. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Well, it's great to see some of the elite coaches and the elite leaders that we have here at Cardiff Met. Speaking of elite coaches and leadership, joined here by Annabelle Sweeney from the Cardiff Met Women's Football Club. Annabelle, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're excited to watch your game tonight. You guys have a quarterfinal against Leeds. It is a little bit on the road with the weather in Lanrumney. Does that affect the team at all? How do you guys feel ahead of this quarterfinal?
I think a team as a whole, we had quite a historic we didn't win the game, but we won the league by scoring a goal to tie it in our last game, and you can't really bottle that morale. So I think going off that, we should be good for today. We know it will be a challenge, but I think we're prepared.
Good to hear. Now, one other thing you may have heard if you caught on there, Annabelle's accent. You're also American, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Long way to come here to Cardiff Met, then.
It is, very much so.
What drew you here to Cardiff Met?
I would say, so I'm getting my master's in financial management, and on top of that, Cardiff Met's first team women. If we win the league, we're able to qualify for Champions League, and that was kind of the biggest pull to come over here and try to give a shot at that.
So you could manage not just financial management for your master's degree, but also you could be managing and helping lead Cardiff Met to the Champions League for the first time.
I don't think it's our first time. I think we sometimes get in the qualification, but we've missed out on past couple years, so I think hopefully this year is when we get back to qualifying ways.
Now, one other thing that you do on the field as well, you're the goalkeeper for the team. Lots of managing the team, managing the defense involved there. As an American who's come here to a new country while also playing as a goalkeeper where you're a bit detached from the rest of the team, was it hard for you to break in here originally? Is it different with these cultural differences as being as part of the team? What's it like for you back there?
I would say sometimes they probably think there's sometimes miscommunication depending on how Welsh one of the teammates might be. I might say something,
Really?
and they'll say something back, and we'll just have a mutual not understanding of what's going on. But once we kind of work past that, I think from my understanding, they're understanding what I'm saying. They could just be smiling and nodding, but I'm not sure.
So you've been here for about a year, just over a year now, yeah?
Yeah.
How are you finding, just aside from school and aside from playing football, how do you find just living in a different country, kind of on your own, in Wales in particular? Do you like Cardiff as a city?
Yeah, I do like it. It's kind of, I would say it's a bit of a small city because I come from kind of a big city of Houston.
Yeah.
But it is really cold, and I thought I would kind of get used to the cold, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a little different, but that's part of the fun here in Cardiff. Now, two big pieces of news that have come up for you and the team this past week. First of all, in the Adren Premier League that you guys play in on Sundays, Swansea City just lost last week to Cardiff City. I can already see you had a little bit of a reaction to that. You're pretty excited about this, aren't you?
I'm absolutely thrilled. It really kind of opened up the race for qualification.
Now, you guys still play Swansea City twice, correct?
Yes, our game, I think 2 weeks ago, was canceled due to the storm.
Now, you're only 4 points behind, but you do have a game in hand. I know you guys lost to them twice already, but you did beat them in the Cup as well earlier in the year. I'm sure everyone's confident they can take the league back from Swansea at this point, right?
Oh, 100%.
Good. Now, the other thing that we'd like to mention here is, for those who don't know, the U.S. women's national team, they settled a lawsuit against the U.S. Soccer Federation this past week, just yesterday. They settled for $24 million for the 28 players who were represented. That's huge news for the soccer team. This is just something that doesn't happen a whole lot. Most women's federations don't have that kind of power, aren't able to get things like this to happen. For someone who plays elite sports as well, for women, what does something like this mean to you?
I think it's a great stepping stone to kind of hopefully have a domino effect across other federations. It would be great to see, like, down the line, others kind of following in our footsteps. It's really just kind of a great step forward for women's sport.
So obviously the payment was a part of this lawsuit. They wanted to settle the lawsuit. They need to get money back for the women's team. We're talking about gender equality, both in terms of how much representation we get and how much the team is paid. Do you feel that women's sport has a way to go to become equal with men's here in the UK? How does that come across for you?
I would say there's a bit of a way to go in the UK. I think the US is kind of maybe a bit ahead, especially kind of at the college level. We have a Title IX, which kind of forces legally they have to have the same amount of money given for men and women's sports. Yeah. I think that was kind of a good stepping stone. It'd be kind of great to see something like that in the UK.
Perfect. Now, going into this game tonight, I know you guys are ready to go. You guys are ready for this game. What time will you guys head over? What time is the game tonight?
I believe it just got pushed to 5 p.m. because we are not able to play on our pitch, as we saw earlier. But I think it should be good.
Good. All right.
I got a question for you really quick. Given that it's a cup match coming up, and now that you're in the UK, and I personally did performance analysis as an undergrad, there seems to be a lot of behind the scenes and pre-match analysis going into especially something like a cup final and penalty saves. Has there been a different approach since you've been here in Cardiff when it comes to saving penalties? I mean, obviously a few weeks ago you kind of saved Cardiff Met in the penalty shootout. Is there a different approach, or do you have a certain way that you practice those penalty saves?
To be honest, we actually haven't practiced them since I came to Wales.
Just a bit of natural ability, you think?
Just kind of been on a roll. So
yeah.
Hope it keeps up.
That's a perfect answer, honestly. Just natural ability. I love it. It's great.
All right. Well, join us tonight. We'll be going to your game tonight at 5, quarterfinal against Leeds in Roland Rumney. I still can't pronounce that very well. I'm working on that.
The most American pronunciation.
All right, there's the quarterfinal tonight for the women's team, 5 o'clock, and then there's also the Bucks quarterfinal again for the women's basketball team, 6:30 here in the Archers Arena. That's all we have for our show today. That we do have one more promotion for the women's basketball team this weekend ahead of their game live on BBC. But before we go, Reese, I think we had something we wanted to do.
Oh, a little bit of an American exit, shall we? You going to join us?
Join in, come on.
Come on.
All right. Thanks for joining us today. We want to thank all of our guests for appearing on the show today. And have a good rest of your day. American takeover.
Yeah! Giddy up, Cardiff Met!
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Fresh, doing something you haven't heard before.